Have you ever looked at your work and thought that's not good enough to show to anyone, let alone a client? Well, today I'm going to be reviewing 3 of my first UX prototypes that I created for commercial clients using Axure RP. Let's get started. The goal of today's episode is to help you understand what you can create if you're just starting out with Axure RP, the key mistakes that you should avoid, and lastly, how quickly you can get better over time. To give you some context around the skills that I already had, I'd already trialed Axure RP for 30 days and I was going through as many tutorials as I could. These UX prototypes that I'm going to share with you were created in my first job for a small digital agency and were done in Axure RP. If you don't know what Axure RP is, you can take a look at this video over here. So let's get started. So our first project is called Drip Drop. So firstly, Drip Drop is a drinks brand, and this was a new concept that a client wanted to build. Essentially a campaign activation, which would have lead generation coming from a mobile website. So on landing on our home page, got a couple of flow charts, nice big logo, and then some mobile screens. So I like the persona groups. So you got like a student, community user, and the school. And I definitely like the flow chart. So here are the screens. You've got a login screen, and you get to a dashboard where you can see votes for a player. And you can select a school, find a student who you can vote for, and a quiz. So this is a bit all over the place. One thing that's already missing is there are no screen annotations as to what's the first screen and what's the next screen. Number 2, there aren't any connectors, so that would help us understand the flow of the screens, similar to the actual user flow. 3, everything is on the same page. It's a bit too much, it's a bit overwhelming. So what would have been better would have been to separate this user flow on a separate page and the screens on a different page. Also, where does this page go to? Nowhere. For any pages that you didn't use, you can delete them. This is giving the impression that there's more content, but there isn't. And then lastly, I'm not entirely sure what platform this was for. Was this a responsive website, or was this a native app? But yeah, I mean, we're starting out, so not bad. So let's give me some marks for effort. Cool. Let's go on to UX prototype number 2, and this is for Nautic, which was a shipping company, and they already had an existing website, and they were trying to accommodate new features into their design. So it wasn't a complete redesign. So you will notice right up front, there's a couple of screenshots of the existing website, and then some wireframed parts, some annotations there and some annotations there. So these are like accordions. You can interact with the drop downs. So I think the key goal here was to create filtering for their line of military and commercial shipping vessels. So these components would have helped you filter the type of vessel that you want. Then you could hit search and the results will show up here, and then you could download the data card from there. It doesn't seem to have a border. Why doesn't it have a border? If we go to page 1, so that looks like the closed state. And I go to page 2. Yeah, this looks like there are no results after you've searched. And then lastly, page 3, there isn't anything. So definitely a couple of mistakes in this one. Labeling would have been great for these page links. Number 2, this prototype is not linked. So what I could have done was to link the search to either a results page or no results page. There's also no labeling, so you have no idea what this page is and what's supposed to be happening on this page. And there's just no border. It feels weird. Okay, so for our last project, this was done for Mediclinic, which is a healthcare brand which has a doctor's network and distributes magazines on health issues. This took about 3 months, and we were meant to build a responsive web design. So right from the get-go, you got a nice sitemap up front, you got the logo in the corner. I really like this. You got a breakdown of what exactly a sitemap is. For an audience who doesn't understand what it is, I really like that. It's very nice. So you get an overall view of everything. You can see how the links are actually labeled correctly. So there's a homepage layout, homepage. I don't have to guess. So let's take a look at the homepage layout. So this is the content strategy, news articles. So just the layout of content. This is very cool for taking a client through content strategy. And let's take a look at the homepage. Nice. Immediately you can see how it's centered. There's a boundary, there's a border, nice and grayscale. I like this. And then very minimal use of imagery. There's some annotations here. So if I click on that, I can see where that goes to. It's nice. And then mouse over interactions. So that just takes the prototype to the next level. So just static designs, but I can actually interact as if it's the real site. I think this carousel works. Ooh, yeah, I like that. So you can see how my progression over time. I mean, all these projects were actually created in the same year. I think they were done, yep, in the same year, and this was done in the next month from the ones that you just saw. Let's see if I hit continue reading. So that's linked up as well. So that's really nice. So I don't have to worry about what comes next. I can actually interact with the prototype. If I hit home, I should be able to go home. Nice. So let's take a look at an article. Very nice layout. Cool, very clean. Let's take a look at the mobile side of things. So you got the mobile screens, a home page, and article view. So I think this was just to really demonstrate how the site would sit in a mobile device. You can see there's a scroll. You can actually scroll through. So that's nice. It's very cool. I really like this. And the article, and this is the category page. So I take it if we hit conditions, that would take you here. If you hit continue, that would take you to an article. Nice. And what else do we have here? We've got a video article, a family magazine. Here are the experts who wrote the articles. If I choose any one of them, I'll get the profile for that particular expert and the articles that they wrote. So that was pretty cool. At the start, it was a bit touch and go, but I think it's a strong finish. I think to round it off, what I can show you as well is what this project became the final implementation. Mediclinic Info Hub, the landing with health topics, sign up to the newsletter, the articles, you can read more, did you know, pop up. The website actually looks very similar to how it is implemented. There's the newsletter, there's the footer, newsletter, footer. So what are some of the key takeaways from this video? Number one, make sure to label your pages. Remove any pages that are not being used. Add annotations to your wireframes to just help explain further what it is that you're displaying. Add a sitemap or a journey flow just for more context. And lastly, grayscale your wireframe if the focus is to be on layout and functionality. And that's it for 3 of my first UX prototypes that I created using Axure RP. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, commenting down below. I always look forward to reading your comments. That will help me know to create similar content. Question of the day: do my wireframes look as bad as yours did? Yes or no? You can leave that comment down below. In my next video though, I'll be sharing with you 3 of my best UX prototypes that I created using Axure RP. Otherwise, enjoy your day and catch you in the next video. Bye.